Welcome back to Learn and Success, where learning English is always exciting and full of surprises. In today's spooky episode, we're going to talk about being scared through a chilling ghost story. You'll learn how to express fear, describe scary situations, and use common phrases to talk about frightening experiences, all in English. So turn down the lights, grab your headphones, and get ready for a thrilling mix of language and goosebumps. Let's learn English if you're not too scared. Only on Learn and Success.
Today, we're digging into the language of fear and how culture kind of shapes what scares us. We're drawing insights from this really interesting English learning conversation we analyzed. It drops you right into this world of, well, spooky mansions and maybe even ghosts. So, our mission here is to unpack some of those vivid words and phrases, maybe some surprising facts, and the cultural bits about being scared. We want to help you quickly get not just the words, but, the whole context behind them. All right, so the conversation kicks off, setting this scene. A visit to a scary-looking mansion. And it's not just scary, it's described as ultra spooky. Now, ultra spooky, that use of ultra, it's more than just saying very scary, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It really amps it up. Ultra suggests something like super or really scary, almost excessively so. It gives this feeling of intense discomfort or maybe just being really, really creeped out.
Peak spooky, like you said.
Exactly. It's that heightened sense. And the reason for visiting this ultra spooky place, the owner believes a ghost is haunting his house.
Okay, haunting. That word seems important. What does it really mean for a ghost to haunt somewhere? It's not just popping in once, right?
Right, that's key. Haunting implies frequency, a repeated presence. The ghost keeps visiting the place, making the people living there feel uneasy, scared, basically not letting them live in peace.
So it's the persistence,
Yeah.
the constant feeling of it being there.
Precisely. It's that lingering dread, that feeling that you're not alone and maybe not welcome.
Got it. So facing this kind of persistent spookiness,
Yeah.
how do the people in the conversation react? Not everyone's brave, apparently. They mentioned cowards.
Cowards. It's a strong label, isn't it? A person who's seen as not brave, maybe scared of, well, everything in that situation.
Yeah, quite judgmental. And then there are the physical reactions too, right? They talk about getting goosebumps.
Yes, that's such a universal thing, that bumpy skin you get on your arms or back. Sometimes they call it chicken skin, too.
Which, interestingly, they mention is the literal term in Spanish, piel de gallina.
Fascinating parallel, yeah. It's that involuntary physical response to fear or cold.
And then there's another term, much more informal, scaredy cat.
Ah, scaredy cat. Similar to coward, meaning someone afraid of everything, but it's definitely more juvenile, much more informal.
Like something you'd call a kid, maybe teasingly.
Exactly. You wouldn't typically call an adult a scaredy cat in a serious way. It implies a kind of childish fearfulness.
Okay, moving beyond single words, let's talk phrases. There's a really useful pattern highlighted. Adjective plus looking, like this scary-looking mansion.
Yes, that's a great one. It's incredibly versatile. You just take an adjective and add looking to describe the visual appearance of something.
So scary-looking, good-looking, creepy-looking.
Right, or even, that's the craziest looking house I've ever seen. Or, what a nice looking dog. It just describes how something appears. Simple, but effective.
Definitely useful. And another phrase that really jumped out was, gives me the creeps. What exactly does that convey?
Gives me the creeps. That means something makes you feel really uncomfortable, maybe a bit scared, nervous, uneasy.
Yeah, like that gut feeling of unease.
Precisely. The conversation had good examples like, that guy over there, he's giving me the creeps. Or the classic, clowns give me the creeps.
Okay, I think a lot of people relate to the clown one. It's that specific feeling of unsettling wrongness.
That little shiver, that feeling of wanting to get away, that's The creeps.
So we've got the words, the physical reactions, but the conversation also touched on deeper beliefs, didn't it? About ghosts and the supernatural.
It did, and that's where it gets really interesting, culturally speaking. There was a real contrast. One speaker firmly believed in ghosts and even shared this quite vivid personal story.
Oh, yeah, the story about the water glass.
Yes, they were having dinner with their parents, totally normal setting, and suddenly a full glass of water just starts moving, spinning across the table. No explanation, nobody touching it.
Wow, okay. That would definitely give me the creeps.
Right, a very concrete, unexplainable event. But then the other speaker in the conversation, total disbelief, just didn't buy it.
So that really highlights different personal viewpoints. But what about broader cultural patterns? The conversation suggested some differences there, too.
It did. It mentioned that in Latin America, people are often described as, well, very superstitious. There's maybe a more open acceptance or belief in ghosts, spirits, things like that.
And lots of urban legends, like leprechauns or haunting grandmas.
Exactly. Those kinds of stories are often a big part of the culture, shared, talked about. Belief in, say, a grandma's spirit visiting at night might be quite common.
Which seems different from what they described for Anglo countries.
Yes. The contrast drawn was that in places like the US or UK, people might be less likely to openly say, yes, I believe in ghosts. Though maybe some do privately.
But they still have superstitions, just different kinds.
Right, like being wary of black cats, or the number 13 being unlucky, or that classic one, don't open an umbrella inside the house.
Ah, yeah, bad luck.
It's considered bad luck, but it's generally not tied to, a specific ghost coming to get you, which seemed to be a possible interpretation in some other cultural contexts mentioned. It's more diffuse bad luck versus a direct spectral threat.
So it really makes you think, doesn't it? How much our cultural background shapes not just what we fear, but how we talk about it, and whether we even entertain the possibility of things like ghosts.
Absolutely. It raises that big question. How does culture filter our perception of fear and the unknown, the way we label things, the stories we tell? It all comes from our shared environment and history.
So wrapping this up, this deep dive gives a quick look at some really useful vocabulary for talking about fear, ultra spooky, haunting, goosebumps, gives you the creeps.
And beyond the words, we saw those fascinating cultural differences in how people approach superstition, ghosts, and the unexplained, all sparked by that one conversation.
It really shows how much you can learn from just listening closely.
Definitely. So maybe something for you, the listener, to think about. What stands out to you about how your own language or culture talks about fear or deals with the supernatural?
Yeah, do you believe in ghosts? Or do your superstitions look totally different? How do those beliefs maybe shape how you think and talk about things you can't quite explain?